Yeah, as someone who Krewomua, yes, it was spending 22 hours. I would Dubai. Many maybe a fano layover flight.
Sheniakasa.
You can lay over. Sir, will be our 2 coin be adding. Over flight no. Sir Bejina. Mamin can say, a Bejina. Now one home, Ebia don't hear me nu, don't hear me and sa, don't hear Naya unim. And you walk on unim so. Me kodi don't hear me nu ha. Me kodi don't hear me and sa ewa ha. And he said no munim said Dubai. And you know, no bedi 22 hours. Why yes, friend, is saying
a tumpine.
Dear, you pay a horse or mine, and the answer can say no cry.
The Canada, that
Or yes, friend, for what?
me need time to waste.
I yes, or yes, stranded.
What?
Because Ghana, yam penocra, ya the politics are same woman will kruma.
The Canada, that
Nanke whole president, he took wine. Na sabi. Chartered flight, and Odekwa, and Cabani Benny.
and none of me dream who I meant to answer.
Mampanya, one no, what dear in Ayasono, to quino, what the chartered flight, and Equa, when Cabani Bank ran the woman. But bra and this ya buying tia kunyaso, yan crophobia mundi some ministers. By virtue of yan this for, yamu ministers are. Mampayini to Kwanya wo tu baby I walk off flight I want far and dia won kwen no sabi na wa bonten
Washe.
because MPP for no oman close some windows and doors near war incrophobia or more MPP more mudin tro and the ma NDC for san crofoni bi and na NDC aban ba ye ya maba ko position
and my pedi I don't know can you say
san crofono emu ba ko oyoba NDC by your man position.
A tumpine.
And one will call one who did one will back now or tongue some wabontain. And then I could a tabra Kruma.
Wait.
Presidential jet was say a pristine before we use me my tradia penny. So pristine brofin coming TV that pristine presidential jet no near one was say a papa a one etimi kwa baabia na mampayi na nado peso boy ye castle mine entia wo tukwan no afa chartered flight
Washe.
entia na presidential jet na Pristina na
Wait.
and I say Selina
A tumpine.
presidential jet no bisa samu okuja to abrakwa the foreign minister sa presidential jet no aye pristine minim say pristine no e badia and I say Selina
Sheniakasa.
what is the state of the presidential jet? Yes, here the call France. Ye kosiyesi. Ye the call ye emaye akosisen.
The Canada, that
San sama ye kan security issues wom. Brahman payin anado na mempese meka. Ba mamenka Brahman payin anado what ye kunwa so bia wan kan kire wunti. Ye mu bi de ye di nkomo wa kire mu ye ba ye ni na di nkomo wa kire mu France. Or the commercial flight in the koye.
I ask you to be citizen.
Okodru awa stranded. Wonya baby anyina ne bag esisi ne nkyɛn cafe no wakɔtena ɛna wɔtwɛn se ebeba abefa no akɔdi ne dwumadie na ye treat mampanyini sa ɛsɛ fata na
I ask you to be citizen.
MPP aban trans rom se dabi ye hia presidential jet
the Canada, that
nanado wo fra konwa so no se wo presidential jet a won fanko
A tumpine.
Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia won fanko
Sheniakasa.
MPP as a political party omo kono mun kukuru nkosi baabi se ye pension ye top presidential jet ntino ye de ekɔ
A tumpine.
but anam sa dwen no wo form na ya dwen ya bra dwen ntino tambia etie mu ye ntimi make progress as a country
Wait.
ne ade bibia ya mayosem ye ntie sam okuja to abrakwa emra sisi ana yenko on the presidential jet mampanya kwanto bebrebe ano wotu ensama na woka ye interview sam okuja to abrakwa ema ne ba bonten crowd betu dwa se NDC aban ba na John Dramani Mahama ever chartered flight wo be resign nyabotre oso wo be resign na nyankopon de bia me kase kama ebe chi NDC for sa
Sheniakasa.
ombe botoro kan sa
A tumpine.
enyo obi apese nkomo motoro kan
the Canada,
but oman no ena eyi omuka e wo kurum ha nyame kire bibi kakra enti brandis aban ba ye na ye ma me gena na opoku na me ma no nkwane ahoden wo be yare ye Wayari ya woko UK no, what about the chartered flight and a buy? Okuja to me resign. Yenti Niemra.
It's clear to me that the charter arrangements that President Akufo-Addo has been pursuing was just to herald this. They were preparing the grounds for this big announcement that a new presidential jet is needed. Let me serve notice that we on the NDC side in Parliament, we have discussed extensively amongst ourselves. We are not going to support this purchase.
Right. Akokaba kwache kakra bi mame waka bibi wo ho. What
a new presidential jet is needed.
Debi Kobak.
Let me serve notice
Akaba stop na Kobak mame bre nu ho yenko start
that
ball.
President Akufo-Addo has been pursuing was just to herald this. They were preparing the ground.
Wasin na Akufo-Addo de wo ye no prepare grounds no. Wo siesie kwan sane ye be ya ye be kase hia presidential jet na MPP aban akoto presidential jet. Enti kan mo kase mampan John Dramani Mahama okoye stranded no o mo prepare grounds ana sane ye be ya NDC aban aba ye be akoto presidential jet ne nya nwanam adi.
Ne ka na da ho
abusianfo me cheche mu nyina enne anumere a me cheche tiefo nyina mo bia akwaba edemo ba ras media so enne anumere so enne ye won sembebre e won sembebre bedi ho kobo pa ai bedi kobo etibi so se waba na wanya ntoboase na watena se na wa share video no na wa like it. Na watching comment so na mahu na machia kama said yes ne fata am comment na hu hia because so comment na mahu say won so no o fie mu ha a won yen ene ba bedi djuma no etime so say ma comment emra wano na yen hu na yen chia de di kan ye chia yenwia kwaku boatempa ye chia ne ye pa say waba e wo Facebook eguso ede nchia e ma dofo ai na ye di djuma de no so no e ba ne aba ba hihye so ene ensembe kasafa ho no doso pa ene de ye be go around the clock ai ensembe bebre wo ho but ensem no nyina chi de be showcase nyina ne se kama nkasa ene NDC fo anya enye obi ana ye obi enye bi na kumantwi e bo suo na hwan na hwan de ho akọ asa na tie ene ese se okese bia emu pura ai ebu ebo wa ene sanso kase so odwene se woni munyansa bebre a yakogyawo ai ena yo hu se wo ye barima too much a yakogyawo yesi se wo ofo ne nsa na wa ye na watwe wani na wa hwe wo so wo nsa se de sitie so odwene se wo kokwa na nse na ya se nyansa nyina wo se wo na ekitawo na wo se wo de fro akotra eduaso na enkaifo anya bia wani beba ho so no na nyansa no apai atofom anase bia no untumi emfroda ene yesi sede wama wo yonko antwa anko no wonso no nye dai untumi ntwa enkodruda emane yeye because karma is a rare and karma is a fucking bitch onyawa odebeye oye pa I mean Kokubate, thank you for being here, thank you for your support. Abusia afei ene ya show na say I na me de ba I me de me say my fat me ho so say every day every show no one segment and we are the mean to me in Frimuda. That is what the dollar rate to CD every day. I was saying to me for metro na wo hu de ekọ e wo dollar to CD rate no I ene e da 11 kasa na ya tren ho no e Italy kasa o say 11 CDs, 11 Ghana CDs is equal to $1. I ene da hono. Eno ene da hono. Because you catch them some microphone na juma na omo ye no. Na eni gina bre ene anamontentene. Because juma na omo na artificial. Artificially na no mo boost to the Ghana CD to the dollar. Because you catch them say dollar no one more one kasa sidi na amme within the foundations nkakra amfa nya stability now you won say artificially okoye den okoma no anya ahodin bia at the end of the day no it will bounce back and the dollar will take his lead and that time no when him begu asijrobo because mo ba ye na anya hwena doctor ba wo mi atumi edit the gold reserve no manage ama dollar na tia from 17 to 14 and what you were supposed to do as an intelligent politician and he said they were just supposed to keep on boosting the gold reserve in our bank to make sure say the city could have maintained its foundation building no na nka match city na nya hoden a constant na de mokoye Mosesa reserve gold na mokoton na wa abonten amode dollars begu system no mu a modwene say no mom na betu ya masidi na nya ahodre no. It cannot be because you cannot always have $14.4 billion. Say untumi nya gold da bia ankoton $14 billion, $4.4 billion. Untumi nya ne da bia ankoton emfa ho sika emma Ghana sika no emma dollar no emma from untumi nya ne da bia enti yetemo warning say munya isha jimi no because ade na amoye no the friend artificial management of the economy. It does not stay ye kan ya and this for some do monte ase eno ene de asie no enam say gold reserve na and Dr. Bomi agya gu ho no maton mu chefa no ama kakra de aka no muntumi sisan kotonti ene dollar na hya ase a one cedi edi ni yi pa ai na me no ka say 1 cedi no $1 no ababeduru 11 cedis a the economy no afei na sabio ayezu asha ase manage economy nankasa. All what they were doing was just a pretendance. Enti ene na reality na dey akachi yen reality na akachi yen to the point they say yenim dey able to me aka e dey defend the economy because gradually no everything is going to show up say yesi otwetwe ukunu ni bilibi emane sori a edane na ejina oto eneda ai we ayempanfo be enyem na America etina de on ti sidi no de say dollar na so de jina na so pa na me so mafato mo so da bia me de ba kire mo. But one thing that I want it to be clear what would tie me say anyese bia me jubilate say your economy no dollar no buno dabi. It is not about jubilating. I'm not happy for this. And me, as a citizen, I will never pray say Mahama fail. The men person Mahama be fail. Because a Mahama failure, the consequences no, ever be die and so. Aye. Sabi ya ewa bruche. Ya maama nom ne ye fanom. Ye nua maanom ne ye fasie nom. Omba frɛ ye da bia demande afiri ye ho. Enti I will never wish said John Mahama nye den emfeli. But the men try to make it clear and say the person Ghana fronti as say we have done a very big mistake because of say ya cause sa to hwe akwafo e de omo abegu ho say omo mra meye adwuma ye de adwen kase na ye. That is all what I want to make it clear. Me, I'm not praying say Mahama faili. No, I want you to understand, say, enipa na ye de omo aba no, they are incompetent. Enti na dollar na shase $1. Aye. Oye ni yipa or dollar pa seriously. That is what I want you to know. Enti the economy, dollar no dollar, it is dollaring. It is dollaring. It is America for be kind of different way. Dollaring. England for be kind of dollaring. Italy for enya brofo na mom yete brofo ye ka brofo kakra be ka it is dollaring. Aye. San ye be kala. And that is what is going on. It is a can about knowledge, about governance, any leadership and management of an economy, and political campaign platform speech, and the managing affairs of a country. It goes beyond, and it is go beyond propaganda. There are things that enye kasa na yedi nimdie any nipa obo drink kese na yedi omoye ai ye ka mo se monte ase look at when nipa do mo be di o man Ghana so eko enkrofo o mo be di Ghana man so as a president from Kwame Nkrumah mepem yewura Mahama 2016 why na etimi atena se adwene pense ye melde gold reserve obi anye etu ane akoton da bia na yadan slaves to our own natural resources as kire ne say ye de ahoodre ne enyansa eye nkwase adwuma e de tu ya nkasa japade anyankopon de ache yen na de ama abrofo na omo di so mfaso na omo build omo reserves. It took only one man whose name is who? Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia to come and sit down and sit up with people and tell them, say, hey, then I'm woman, mo Jimmy Ache, Mama Yen think as a human being. Mama Yen the gold reserve, and then never my ye sick and a more day. Mobile Jimmy, ye discover no, ye discover ye build no. Now, Crowfoy the Jimmy Abba, I mobile almost that gold reserve on a who here. Number yen to go to no, na yen cotton yen for camera, and then a boy economy. And any and $9 na shall say o push no. Was in 2 days, would you head so map now in 2 days or what to say so. You catch them say Uncle Pony better than as said. When COVID struck, now you would Dr. Bawumian and Addo need Ghana man so. Now Ebola Kurama Mahama ko IMF. Na COVID-19 na ye global pandemic. I do be anamo the apples compare mango. E do be to me the apples compare mango. Me transit sa me try na me tie me ya. Say how can Ghanaians compare the incompetent Mahama to Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia? Or how can they compare Kobe Huda and Dr. Bawumia? Me try na me tie say me can't tilapia de la no. I me papa na also wo sika na mo ontimi me ode come business out of government affairs. Businessman ontimi me ode business anye involved with the government money. Ono na sem na me kan. Enti edu ba bia etimi de apples compare mango na ya mistake because bra hwe Kwanya Dr. Faso we yi dollar from 17 to 14 no. In just 1 year, imagine no. Second this for Jimmy for ba ye. And ankomo to anema doctor na o ye no so gold for oil and it's our gold reserve na. Nkenne ebianka graduate nka dollar na tumi atia ba biduru se 12.5. High and stable anka kra no. Up to 2028, Nanko Motunya bringing it down to 10 in Canada stable. But then modern quasi injection $4.4 billion. Moko Sago Namakoton. Ye koya ni nangrofu ye ko mochi. Makoton. Namu discana ba moba musie at the dollar button. It is not sustainable. It is not sustainable. And ya de bi obetunya ye managina na nan so. Ebedwiri and then I tell you when adwiri say adwiri America for so say Donald Trump nin sem fon bi man no di wajai and Donald Trump wajai nin sem fon no so the dollar is going to dollar the CD for very long time and hopefully say omon san fan ko yachi up to 17 because ebasa nipa ehun ebechire. So this is the update that I have for you from what? From the dollar and CD rate no. Mediatum said that I will bring you the update. A call from Kram and the Barbecue. But in Baby Econo, I will never believe say it can come down. I am Pana Mechanical. We will go up because sadly we by the end of September, if you see the rate which the dollar is moving up, we will get at least up to 13 or 14. Because much like a power. And even if you go and see the dollar to euro now, you can actually see say things are working good for the dollar. Entiato force. Jimina Ujimi and the catcher said the American economy is the biggest economy in the world. And doing to me in fact artificial massage and containing the value of the dollar. Ada so be something intelligent, na sustainable, na long-term sustainable procedure. That is the only way that you can do to manage or to chase the dollar rate. What the Kenyan sasema kwasi asemne na ntim kwajo ho afuomo krone aburo tutu a yedi aburo dua etutu aburo firi aburo ho no eno na da mutim kyese yedi ye nkwafo ye man no mo to the point say ne obi ba no keso de ye firi nkwaso mu a agimi for the socialist party from NDC for Montiasia. They will bring you back to where we were. And in the end, into dollar na jiriga, CD na abriki, CD na adwiregu, the economy. We are 11 CD for $1 today. And that one on the 21st of August 2025, and the CD is at 11. The dollar is at 11 CD per $1. Now the no. Enti wey update ya mafato mo se da bia me ba me de be ma ho me ka kire se usika bi wo chance o person fa nko fie nko ye project bia ya nto ba se kakra especially I'm talking to our brothers amowa brochire mo amowa brochire no usika bi da ho de o person fa nko ye business a emprepare wo ho emfa nko enne ya nto ba se ma wo ho 1 month enye se wan hwe yi a na udu sika na kwaji lower rate na within 1 month time ya jump to be a 15 na waboka do so and to keep calm. Mahama's government is something of what's scamming, so we must to find a way to media scam Mahama. Yes sir, obes scam ye nyina praye enti misra wa udi sika bi percent fan kofia na uti abruchi maimu a dollar ni yiro ne hwan Canadian dollar ni nya ma ho 1 month na hwe how far the things will go. And yes, I know I heard sika do bi a said do the 5,000 bi kofi na ya ko change ma at the rate of 11 now within 1 month ko 50 na why heard sika bebre. So let's use the tactics of the incompetent John Mahama to beat him. And yem for mo adro no bi ennom emmomonom ebebo apa. Yanto aso ne yanko yanim na menchi atiefo kakra ame maame Esther K bari mama ame mo akwa abaye pa won te se maame nim se Nyankopon adom ho ye menua akwasi asamoa won so mechi apa ame bra. Thank you for being here. Me maame Diana Apia maame comment sky nim se ho ye pa na adwuma mo ti sen se Samuel se ye awie mo da so wo mu ana asese ya enti me den chiama atiefo awie de na ye kɔ yanim meso so se like video no na share mame na busiamfo emra emeka ye ho na adwuma no enye de na enye fe. Now nema bi ikoso wo man no mu a I think say we must to find a way to make it clear. Abusia ye nyina ye kai drip machines a ye wura na Addo de
NDC fire.
to say Sa video way, wow. It's something very, very interesting. See, you know, Bekaya, Mamma Mwakwa, MPP Abana, Danko Kufuado, or Junior said, every part of the country is important as any other part. And Addo Junior said, O mine, Babia, Ekurase, Ekurum, Babia. And who here, Babia, a part of the country. And to be an Addo, yeah. Addo brought an interventioner, social interventioner, not a way to secure, say, Ghana, my moon, a car quine home some a big and nice so. Now, sa a car quine home some a big and nice so. The papa ye and say, or said that Sikapudu. Ekoto cars make heavy duty cars ye de kwan so adwuma grader tipper truck caterpillar nom excavator nom constituency bi anya ne de. Now the reason behind this was to make sure say ye nkurase na ayɛ sɛ nsuo tɔ a na kaa kwan no nsuo no atwa fa so na ayɛ mɔntomɔnka ebi kura pa na nsuo no ataa so na kaa se ntumi nkɔ a yɛtumi kɔ so sɛ obi kura yare na yɛpɛ sɛ yɛmfa no kɔ hospital yɛnya kaa kwan mfa ne mfa so anaa sɛ nkurasefoɔ ebinom ɛyɛ nnɔbayɛ na yɛpɛ sɛ yɛmfa nnɔbayɛ no kura mmerɛ kurom ɛmɛtɔn a yɛntumi mfa mma sɛbio obi pɛ sɛ ɔnkɔ ne kurom ntumi mfa kaa nkɔ nti na n'ado tena ase dwene hu sɛ sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a the economy of the country ne bɛyɛ strong no we must to create something a ɛbɛboa ɛma movement because ewiase a yɛwɔ yi there is no single country wɔtumi develop a when develop through faster way of transport ɔman bi ɔbɛkɔ so biara one of the things that they do first ade omudi kan yɛ ne first and so ɔmo economy na timi grow stronger and to create a faster means of transport so obe timi aye bibi ma akwantuo moving from one place to another no ebe so ntentem ene ne ma economy no ejina ne nan so Nanado brought in these excavators any a tipper truck ne caterpillar ani grader no e de baya na every constituency has one abusia the intention enam so Nanado this anyama ne baya no one farmer say DCB emfa nkoye adwuma mfa ngi sika ngu ne bottom na tie biem Nanado sanso di sika ma every district bia say odi beto fuel yesan fa adwumayefo yesan fa yenka ne se mechanics a omo na be repair ena yesan fa operators omo operate some machines no na bosomi bia yetua woka so if you listen carefully let's say the intention of this drip machines no was just to make sure say ya car kwan sem be jira ne nan so at the beginning and this is for the country Ghana for say enye possible say na do betimi ato machines yete saa e di aba district bia enso papa no akokora onye dede sika empe dede etime transe bo modern etwa sika the koto machines na ba ye sama district executives no sika o mo de beto patrol na o mo de atua operators on the machines sika and in fact roads in the villages were started developing. Edu wa bi kura ndisi for babo ante se enyam people for initiative. Na Ghana for your tax na de koto ye ntino ye Ghana for nyina na de sika to no problem with that. But now there na ekoso. There na ekoso. That is what I'm asking. The ekoso na say akronfo we ba ye no. The omo ye ne say drip machines na are dedicated for rural areas roads development no the DC for no more no omoni some NDC gurus bi no maka omo ho aboma omodi drip machines no ebo business go on bottom yeah already kopo hey temi yepa NDC gurus any DC for no more various district in the various constituencies no omo the drip machines na ye adwuma agi sika go omo bottom enti wo hwa na the district director na soma ni abefa excavator na firi babie wo babie di asise nke betima ko nkuras no ni abefa firi ho di kokrom e di kotu amanfo foundations ma omo na ye di kotu Galamsey ma amanfo say this party is the most cruelest political party I've ever heard in my life. Wa wontumi nye bi. Wa nyansa ye de saade wei. Wontumi nye bi. Wontumi nye bi mfa nwene emma oman ma no. Na se nipa foforo bi betrase na odwene ekofan at the papa say ba. Wo ba konwa mu a. What you want to do is what? It's rather to destroy the function of what? Of the initiative for nipa kron de buy. So that your personal interest and amodia to money so. And the drip machines na across the districts I hold on. The DCs no more those districts no. The omo yene say they are using these machines for private use. on rent. Aye. Omo de business. Omo de business ankasa. Private men high edi omo adwuma. Amanfo de to omo foundations. Amanfo de ye Galamsey. Tio, abuy machines no. Private men go Galamsey dealers etime behind free DC ho na omo de akotu Galamsey. Na amanfo aka akwan no ye je agu ho. Na nkrofo we pa hwan na kofo omo bra ye. Ghana fo ya o. Udetie, papa we okaso ye NDC niti asem oka no wa. Hima me amase mahama na NDC don't have anything to offer Ghanaians apart from renaming of MPP projects. I remember some of these machines engineers were filled with salt. Yeah, engines were yeah. Make I pa yeah. One of the constituencies almost see a MPP project to make sure say MPP will fail. No, they put salt in the engines at the money. Now they tiako NDC ni dollar man mo akwa pa abusia mo like bi na mo nhema me enko ya ni mo hwe video we
Baya omoye na efe ba ise no ne ma bi omoye no o ma NDC na ye wo no ye ya nuye ya bless I be bless I campaign na NDC power ye be ba no fire tender MPP na de bae o me de bae sabi NDC bae a o be fire tender so me de call boase o me de call boase fire tender o me de bread dada bi fire tender na sai be kan na ene atwampo no a ye ni fire tender sabi bibi to Yanku get to what? Mamma, they're going to and yeah, he's on book. Is that all? And finish the job, the fire tender, yeah. I say, you're fair, baby. And your cry. Ghana, dear, you said the NDPP on the fire tender, on the machine, outside the apartment. Say a fear for your cocoa, your body, your make it, your baby. Your body, your boss, your body, your car, your baby, and my bag. Immediately back to Marcy, a club never been or a one event or a couple members, and then I must have be a choir and then we took about beer one. That's what I'm about beer. Then we are here to my cover. We are going to fire dream machine. I got a cook Marcy. Machine Papa woman never to be a year. Move a funny year for Marcy. When you cook Marcy, I didn't enter 1 year. Never bought the enemy came from Ramu. Mumbai, I'm going to take what this year. Nearby, I'm about the baby I come to NDC, one this war. I drop on one blow. We are small boy. I am branch channel. The machine NDC there, a Guha, get to about you. And the machine every year, I some members, I'm on here. I never call you my near the year fire. Muba, the baby at one point. I'm on you, the best. And now I'm not going to the best. And that day, I now to that. And you have been anybody with so beauty. I'm an among the beauty and I'm on and you have break. So maybe I some member. I want them among us. Let's try it. Udino. Oh, yes, Assemblyman. Yeah, Assemblyman with them.
Abusia we de wasum wa ankasa wasum machines na de aba egu ho a egu akura na se a ye de titititi aka akwan na ekọ into the farms and into the other villages a sabio ka akwan ni ho no NDC district assembly officer na say ono de obesisa de akoboase akoye Galamsey akojiska gu ne bottom bajo temi pa instead of us to use those machines to do what it was brought in for yemfanye de ntia ye de baaye no there be yadane no from social intervention into private man business ntia de kotu Galamsey ajiska gu e bottom na yenso aye pe eti ade na enye hwe nye ya na ekoto abako yi omo baaye that is that ye ka kire mo afei wo so ye ndc ni waba wo ba hwan na oba beso akire me na obeso akire me mujimi yes sa mo mane mo wo fase num kogu suku ma mfie nwotwe ehwe won ema won aduane di ye pe babi ma wo daaye ye tontade de ma won hye ye tompapo ankasa de hye won ase ye tua wo mock fees ye tua wo PT ye nyina ye tua ye exams printing fee nyina akofo adu tua ne nyina but mutumi transe am ho tipo nkosofo mo nyene nkwa akiri Ghana fo binom and this for especially that guy who's talking so ye this ni mo transe am ho tipo nkosofo ko da nwene fo nipa mo se mo da mo didi amon no mo nkwan nipa mo se mo di muti eto empa so a sumuye nka ho jimi ena mo tra wana de be da mo na mo koto nkwase aba won se mo koto nkwase aba ye ka kire mo se patre kwaso be ma on to ma hwetie ni din ye kan ya mante ase mo koto nkwase aba won se omoba o mo ntumi ampe bibia amfa mere mo na mom kakra na odefo bi odwene mo ho de ma mo no omo abasa omo ba besesa de afiri mo nchen e de ekoye adwuma ye sika afiri ka kire mo those men sankrofo we no they are what people omo dwene se uye oman ba eni kwan se ho towo because e ho towo ye ntumi ma emeye cheap propaganda and cheap campaign or nim amount koto aba ma wo so all what they're demanding all what they want to see they say you remain poor more as it can be said the beya oba na otene ka akese na odi bewura o constituency ho a uhu na waye ne yesa masa no akoto aba man because of usika wa mujimi and this is support ma mujimi minyanwie yo yanto ase minyanwie ewi asene yese achichide yese ope mojadodo a ye di nsuo frem I to be pa the way some na America no tie the pa achichide wo ho no o ka kire o se ope mojadodo a de ye ne se ye di nsuo frem because achichide ntumi nya mojadodo me am ya frem po am akwa aba achichide no ntumi nya mojadodo me wi ajay on Facebook me share ye pa enti se o ya achichide na operepere ho se wo de open mojadodo agu mu a de betumi ase de nsuo be frem na ho ato enti se wo te o man bi e frem ne Ghana mu a yenim se our development procedure no akoye no hu bibie wo ho na obi ba na otu ne hu si ho se obeye oye de de obetu de mfa se oman no ahoboa ne ahofama ne ma ne etimi boa ne ma ne ye na oye ni nyina na wo si da bi obi abe promise me say he will give me heaven now this okoto nkwase aba that is what happens to you enti we and this ni mpo na wusu mo nso na mokoto abai enyam na mekoto ye bra na ye koto aba na mo se na ndo nye ehwe afei de motumi ehu se sa papa no kura de fire tender kura bremo e wo mo constituency ho and this 4.4 ba ni afa koton akofa dada bisi mo afei na madwena hu say yes the man was thinking about this to the point he said or the machines about see him fanyi yaka kwan na ye means of transportation of goods and services enye fast na emfasika megu ebotom ye kan mo say na de emfaso na menya na 1pp abai mo unni na wo say na unya ene na unne eno ne unne ya can't say Ghana Fubima can't say Amamu no the benefit from governance no and yes sika bi aban beba be chede gu bottom say Jenna fashion bottom and yes sana governance governance is all things different. The government will create an suitable environment for your life. comfortable environment for your life, a suitable environment for businesses. And yes, I buy ebe chisika mo da bi ase tifatu bottom. And yes, I buy ebe bi enyuma be kese brabeji adwuma ye. That is what even some of our NPP people are moving through. Say, I buy Canada, Japan, so maybe we are more. Hey, I will say, I don't want to go there. Moment could difference. So, this was what we are trying to tell you. And let the man who announced some fast war. And let the man who said, sand dread machines and I must say, any way, and fast when you saw a moko to abafono. Now, your minds have started. Yes, say, and copy say I come for Ebemus and Nanka. Nankana made deno. Na the cat of Wari Manasa. Tibiepa. And copy say I come for Bemus, Nankanam, Nanka. Deno. Na ntafo another cat for Ari Manasa. That is what is happening to the NDC full soldiers. A Jimmy for no Omodun is MPP in your party, Papa. And now Muhu said MPP, the party is gone. You have your own party in power. Sabio. It is a multi opposition. Esuna Musu. Mpainfo mu MPP and this in no mota from on Saho. All the full soldiers of more party munyra, they are all being abandoned. Mokoyana mobile. Common services in the country will be to benefit the Kurano, ye jayagum, a man found no muye jumamo, ye baye, ye ibinumati, and this for supporters, Yankasa, ye moti. Adentia, and was some pain for no more party no. Yam Paki Mungu Jubilee House. Near Momo and Quasi appointment to be a young signing, say it me appointed CEO of Mortuary. They appointed two deputy CEO for mortuary in Ghana. Yeah, more than yes, that's your mining is car. Mine was capa. Or mine was car. And when you don't have the competent people to manage the money in a good manner, you will suffer. And that is what is actually happening. And the NDC for supporters. And Mamunsu, Muntinam, Kevin Terras, way are buying papa. And Jimmy. Kevin Terras, I'm buying now bar. Until you are enjoying. More enjoy, don't cry. Don't cry for one people. You're cool. You're nearby Mubium. You're nearby Mubium. Monsoon Freya, don't call for us. Mon Fremo president, no, yet dear Senator Fatanagana for home tower. And it's a drug machines, no, and this is 1.4 the year business. Montras and Moncamano to Namunya Jimmy. Then you're aye, and you're yes, you Jimo Hua, Yado second Idrananka. And to the Mayano, as soon fast walk anyway. Momento aso na yenko yanim na yehwe nema bi ekọ e wo system num ai nema bi num koso wo system num e wo se yeni hu nkomo pa ai the karma is working, the big karma is working. Bra panyini utie me tie we so
yes, yeah, I'm on your phone in you move for because Obi Galamsey is easy to fight it.
Ghana for Abu Muntio, Papa Yojan Fene Hon Joseph Azuma or NDC MP for Akrofum. What did the Oka? She said, you see, Ghanaian politicians in Obia D4 ever dear home. On fighting against Galamsey. Adentia or say Galamsey fight then easy. Ten you we a full confession. Papa ne confess it directly from the studios of Asempa FM. Tio or say Galamsey fight then easy. Oyendi CMP. Oyendi CMP. But Crawford we got the audacity to come out when they were in opposition to tell Ghanaians say Akufo-Addo ye nipa bone. Akufo-Addo ono na ama Galamsey ekoso wo Ghana man because oni MPP for na to Galamsey. They said the leadership of the MPP, top, you can say, the actor of Galamsey in the country. Almost MPP from point for to Galamsey or Ghana. And into Galamsey also into Mitra. Ya kaya kusi say. Sa uko chebia, Akufo-Addo ankasa ne garden, ye to Galamsey or no nepesi ye to Galamsey. You can hear to the point to say, Sami Jeffrey champagne, my video natural. Or some can say, Impo a man for bedroom, will chebi, to Galamsey or into MPP leadership when I need to Galamsey. Into the Ghana 4% Galamsey, ye just so dear. What we need to do, they say, we must to vote in the incompetent John Dariga, Okron 4, Terminator 1. Government official 1. Now, I'm going to Ghana and then a bit to Galamsey so because they can use just 2 weeks to terminate Galamsey in the country. I'm going to say, I'm a chair of Amoakwaba. Tio, and this is for an almost campaign platform, sir. Almost in just 2 weeks, they were going to stop Galamsey with all the architecture of the government of the presidency. And not there, people are crying from studios to say, no, Galamsey fight, I know it. Karma is a fucking bitch, and karma will make you feel stupid. And karma will disgrace you in the eyes of the people. And the one I used to say, sir, the politics of today, are very, very dynamic. So do muji amanyo se muna wo kasa. Na when you sue your common sense na wo team, any adwene wo team. Na when nyai entro die e wo wonsem a wo ka ho a. It will cost you a lot in your political career. Because it is not about 19 kwajo na unya akwanya se obekasa de ache Ghana fo na ye radio a okasa wi a ayira ene asem obeka ne nne no eda ho ankopem se wi ase bese enti ochina bi yes some opportunity to come back and say something, maybe one thing has changed positively for you. You cannot come. You cannot even talk. Adentia. One sem na okay and ya parking go, ya parcel go, ekitaye na okay ya the better say you said this, you said that. What was no kuja tabra kwa waira? What was kuja tabra kwa waira? What was say ne Hon Joseph Azuma eke na numa sem te se baifo a osofo bia ni mu edurache no. What was say ne Jo Mahama Galamsey waye din wo ho. One said, ne, akwa we yanka se kese Galamsey no, eye ntokwa kese. Now wait and listen to this video. Me are not above video actually say. And some na ye catch them when MPP in power and we told you say the NDC are the head of Galamsey in the country. No, I will show you because there were NDC ni kakra kapa or no the only MPP NDC are buying. I didn't talk quite simple say. They are criminalizing people who are involved in Galamsey. But they almost say Galamsey for when they are buying about power. The video women were MP for Akuro from Yatie and this MP. The man no leader nya akome mo akwa papa busiamfo nyina ye ho ye hope say won so obusia obi aho ye. Enti video no.
Would you agree or sacrifice opposition or whatever? A risky pa baby I didn't know.
But MPP for say you knew this and still weaponized Galamsey against them. But no one say easy to fight.
They did same before 2016. I'm
also weaponized.
Yeah, you know you did for. They did same. And one thing is that Yenjin to say a baby why you can't send me we are as I'm on your phone. Now the MPP NDC. At the cry you can't want some more. You did tell me yes, at times and no and as idea co-position. And no one and no yet dimwa magnifique a me deep politics.
Yes.
Certain be our body NDC for kind opposition. Now the body no kind in government. Now the body put recycle idea na Ghana for no be to the BMC ya no murefi. But never be a kikoya. Ya benya strong you kind of say social media and other
Robert can be our
Ebeka kakra. You better for radio to say bra won't be ma. Because of why was first no na ding. But now ka semwa. O kira ka fofra obi wan say yakoni akoyi dia ba na wo na wote wo no. Enti ye nyina ye di for. Ebra so say enya say government wo na ye ka. O ye power na make. Ebra so say no kure ni ma bi wo ha. Ye tana se ne adwene ho biem. Na ye hwe. Say ye betimi aka bomu a ana ye betimi asesa de we aye ne ma. Anya za ye be kwa basa kwa ba.
So from Fanchama. So what? A jana is hot, a jana hitty. The reality is catching on them. And the another, you know, you can't home. Hey, I go for those a Galamsey party here, Sika. Professor Frempom Boatin is a Boachino. Papa, what did ministerial position in your own party? Ultimate transfer ye pian kwashe sika mao. Emma will make a stupid report. Emma NDC for capitalization. So, Eddie Begu MPP for any mass say the MPP is the one young can say benefiting from Galamsey, and is the MPP who is actually sponsoring the Galamsey activities in the country. Now the maybe said, and na mobile by me 7 months, 8 months a year. If it was actually true, said the Galamsey work, you know, and all the Galamsey activities are now a destroying of our water bodies, our environment, our forest, our reserve, na safe for your forest reserve, na safe for. Now a MPP for the dear chile dia, and you for. It is simple. Monchicho munyina. Monchicho munyina for mungum. We don't need any excuse. Yempe excuse be at ye. Yempe so about na country say na yenyina for dabi. Did what you promised in the opposition. Mama promises in your juma. Let the government of Ghana deploy men with guns, soldiers, military, and the police. The national security self. Monko urem na monko chiche nkrofom for mobegum because so mo MPP for mo ya ebe mo MPP kura na ho odena form in 2028 elections. Ye nye sika mfa sponsor yen because according to you guys, stupid men, cheap propagandists like you guys, unconscious politicians like you. Mo manye say ya mo bet stand fair na mo di akwatia a national canker like Galamsey amodi ye politics no Jimmy Maba monsisa sojafoɔ engum na omonko one by one enkochichi anyone that was involved in Galamsey because of MPP, because it was the MPP who was doing Galamsey according to what you said. And the Monchichi MPP for no moye Galamsey, the MPP for Monchichi Munyina, na mon for Mumegum, not Galamsey, yano, in chat. Na Fena Wusu. So I say, Antissa, one will say, I yet Nama Musemo Bechi Galamsey for. I didn't hear. The NDC itself embark on the project, and no Modi Kutia MPP, in a manner said. They empower some NDC gurus to do Galamsey, especially on the water bodies. Said Yabaya, Yabasma Quasiampani Captain Smart and Crop for Yatiti Wani Jimmy for Mwaka. to go and video water bodies ya team na mo fa ma kire say Akufo Addo na aban say o man no one say ne the NDC cannot counter on the Galamsey matter adentia omo nkrofo omo na omo hye omo putupa say omo nko yesa nkwase adwuma no omo nkrofo omo mbom na omo sponsor the NDC candidate John Mahama to win the elections and omo ntimi nya ho hwe ye ko sat na ekochi kwase ampanyi ni bia na wa frɛ MPB na wa frɛ minister bi asojafo betina na omo ni minister na kasa ya chichiro omo nsa agu omo achi. This is what I call the karma of Addo is working, and it's working well on the NDC. Mubeka manum nsem say ya. Mubesha sia kamanum nsem from now up to that kingdom come. Mubeka manum nsem enkontompo ne ntro. Entwanto so sema mo kande to papa panyina onte se so. Na modi na ni yi ofom. Mo kan mususem gu ni so because of Galamsey no. The mighty God of ours, our own mighty God, is working against you guys to the manner said, you guys will continue confessing with your own words. Muamwe biemano, how white was she, you would an Addo in front of his enemies. Muankasa, Mubatrans biemano can't say a man sign say. In fact, Akufo Addo has nothing to do with Galamsey. Moana mobeka. Na tie, me pese me mfa won chire bibi na me say the Galamsey issue na ye kan ho asem no. It has nothing to do with Dr. Nanado Danko Akufo Addo. It is the NDC big men guru so mo NDC na ye Galamsey. 89 this war power no omo believe to have the audacity to do whatever they like in terms of Galamsey, because a bad there they just have to call one minister and the minister will help them to get out from every situation omo do omo akoto. And the minister MPA keep on confessing say Galamsey kono. It's not supposed to be what? A political issues. It should not be a partisan. Once I now come on myself,
so yes, yeah, I'm on your phone in a demo for because Obi Galamsey is easy to fight it. Would you agree sacrifice it? Opposition or whatever. A risky pa baby I didn't know.
But MPP before said you knew this and still weaponized Galamsey against them. But Namunim saying it's easy to fight.
They did same before 2016.
I'm also weaponized.
They did same. And one thing is that Yenjin to say a baby why you can't say me we are. As I'm on your phone. Now, ye MPP NDC. I dear cry, you can't want some more. You did tell me, yes, at times, and no, and as idea co-position. And one, I don't know, yet, Dimoa, magnifique, crowd me deep politics.
Yes.
Certain be our body NDC for kind of opposition. Now the body no more kind of in government. Now the body put recycle idea this na Ghana for no be to the BMC ya no mu refi. But na be ya kika koya. Ya benya strong you kind of say social media and other man.
You be can be awo.
Ebeka kakra. You be for radio so say bra won't be ma. Because of what was first no na ding. But now case mo a o kira ka foforo obi wan say yakoni akoyi de aba na wo na wote wo no enti ye nyina ye difo ebra so say enya say government wo na ye ka o ye power na make ebra so say no kure ni nema bi wo ha ye tena se ne adwene ho biem na ye hwe say ye betimi aka bomu a ana ye betimi asesa de we a ye nema anya za ye be kwa abasa
Yes, Intia Bushia. Se utie ni ya and this time no pressure number 24 so they move through pa na tie Joseph ya me nyina ye nim no oye ndisi ni pa what team common person won tie common yi tie common yi pa this will tell you actually say nipa omo ye Galamsey wo Ghana ma omo ye ndisi fo we dey tie video na nko ye ni
I know you're not the one to tell me he's a criminal. But it is because of that criminal that you are a minister if you don't know. You have more power with a soft golden PhD in theology. 2024 man, sorry, me not sorry them. Just to let the NDC win power. So that's why it's a criminal. But it is because of him you are a minister. And I ever see genuine people to give them job in this country. Man is a only people. The person who tell you is a criminal. No, say you want one county minister. Now let me tell you, so our contract with say I'm quite criminal. No, will be and you will say that. If that is the reason why you won't give that contract. We know that's how I fight.
But that's why you are always in trouble.
That is the point.
You are always in trouble.
Because I hate. Say Obi Aya Diani Chianaka. I hate it. I sit down and I wait. Nipa way. And then one who says, "How are you, Galamsey?" Ono Naji office, I'm going quality resource record time in Ashanti region that the MPP couldn't manipulate the election. Oh, Gigi Kanamamuno, no way, why am I now? Why you? It's not since Manan Conquer. The machines now, my channel. And they don't know. I will be a free no. Machine is what they are. Book the process and release for 2 machines. Okay, near my story. So there's a huge discontent within our party folks on the ground. So you numbi ayanje appointment and here management because at least only say there's somebody who can talk to near means be near here. That is the reason why the two are very have moved to almost all the regions. And yes, even this year appointment, because you can some but at least we're able to talk to them, the expectations, and your person may not get it, but that is not to say BBR said there's a lot of time within throughout. I'm taking it upon myself to want to do that because they are NDC in Ghana government far better than the MPP and the NDC international na dollar ya na kogrigiri about for me and businessmen almost about for the first time in history of Ghana the businessmen go for a buying because dollar na I mean see that and do manage it. There's insecurity in this country are conform and yet complete there but at least
Safanat Pania, within year 12, Ghana for Moja DNE television.
10 years. The guy was speaking in proverb. Ono ankasana. I say MPP and this if say one person mo de contract be man nipa bi adenti so ye Galamsey. Ono ankasa so cancel say sa Galamsey ni no na sponsor o campaign in Ashanti region. Aye. Tio NDC for na sponsor in fact Galamsey for no mo oman no omo no mo sponsor John Mahama campaign adentia Mahama promise omo se oba obema Galamsey for ya adwuma enti ne obedan ene wakochi nipa ya ti obi excavators ye nim pefe o de Galamsey yesi yamfa ne machine ma no adentia o NDC ni onye criminal kura A criminals no a boy ma wo mahama oba power. We used to say people who openly campaign for John Mahama or the NDC, many of them, they have their personal interest, directly personal interest. It is for only that reason that makes them come out to campaign or to talk for John Mahama. Because everyone knows that that man is a criminal. And when he's in power, he endorses criminal activities and criminality in the country. Anti-criminal being a quenya and quade. And then, once you actually got saying, yeah, you see, yeah, not into NDC. But I could find the Bresso. There was no division, no partisan concerning issues about Galamsey. You do best set the example. But then everything we are seeing is different from what they promised. No video where we are the full version of the video. Not till some new year. Here we are. Now, maybe another episode no swat to
reform or more line of operations. No, we are my dream say or more the party for non subek yet to say Ubia or Muhadia. And here your mama will be coming down to be settling scores.
Yeah. Okay. But the emphasis here, why? You are. I want to grab bounce my Addo.
So for no machine now, machine on the back. Yanya be Yamanade.
Commander.
I'm telling you, this is not a threat to, but it is something I am sending out there.
Commander.
Just this.
We're a national officer.
No, you see, that is why I may stay out of media. Sometimes I'm for I say because the person to which are they and your man. You know, now man for I misinterpreting what they are going to see. This Saturday, the Hoana, champion of frame, or say Ampa February, and will be catching as a land view Eastern region. Remind us the Mukobo test. No swanny machine, no decoy. Was so about test and BBN. Machine, let's see a Kuranase. Sa from February. I feel no terrors no. Omunko fan the machine yet and from bread. About a machine we no musi and cocoa quine moi. So you have for action say Galamsey. For your Musa Chiana, they are talking about money. And he says, I see can one or the man or origin, so come the man or the anchor. Machine can Galamsey you. But because one also say one year, because I didn't know site in the chain. No, Makoko, the machine I could see in Cocoa police station. So he called me. And I called in Cocoa to find out what is it. So I'm the only who will be about one so you will be there at the end of the day at the buy. So unless so yes, you have to call. But you're doing this for a chairman. Me call no Cocoa catcher and say mobilize your people, get us agents. Let them be there. Mun paid you and more mundi when we didn't have money and all these things. Say, minti mi nyafi yekura manwa ne machine. No no dia didi ho so yi mu abisine. Tax force we chinwa. Yenya mo china, especially when it's not perpetuating any illegal activity. The watching side or the other is different. Kojo, this signal is going to the tax force for. So if and the people who sacrificed. And your mind be animal is cow. So if you have a power now to me identify the 1, 2, 3 people. Or mukakrana no more ye during the MPP time, and their support too. Are you a good person or a bad person? This is what is happening in Ghana today. Because some of the appointees and so on, they were not part of the struggle. Nti onu nim san kofu wi ene bra o yeden ebre people who stayed overnight election time anado yani say ankata ade chi anopa na police for the 2 patrol vehicles tundra kakrakanu mienu fully armed on the begume officer baku jina joint ya Sandra IGP that time no regional commander as chief gofana mo do ngabe gumi onu pa mun mo nko ko mu fi ade na ne o ne kwa na adwo no akọ awun say any wo go we deploy people. And I do not our office now one year old intel. We didn't sleep. We deployed people to go and check that would be Ghana and the emphasis. Almost about 70 Land Cruisers, pickups, Tundras, whatever, will do from that office. How can you waste of time? Yeah, in there, and we'll make sure that we'll be in Chinchin. Yes, our batu, you better abandonia kind, pepe. Because any parodo saying a day, police for me, a coco generation. Me, I'm the first person to vote every time. Police, they talk about complex. Because when I'm a tenor, me, they talk about my first time, and I'm seeing change police station in that. Me, I met me, who answer electoral commission about beer. Me wo ho answer the electoral commission day in your manner because election night I don't sleep. In the bay me rounds sad and I go and end up at my polling station. My check cry 4 o'clock. Na me to me car light and I'm so out easy for no so no more are here almost sorting. This time the same thing. We operation in that and another track ballot papers. Commander, if we are me could do me that car no say I'm tiana bang 4 o'clock. Me roll glass in the coya. Me car no soldier for 2 my travel wedding. And so what is the problem? Some say they have been asked 6.5 to come because the car has entered the barracks. So this is a polling station. We are ready to come and vote. So no, Commander Nijina baby no I see. It was saying, because he said the car. You should go ahead and search. And I'm searching. I'm command report to say car is safe. One tear say, on one casa by a jet touch and or they go through Nina. That's why I make it call. Papa. Or max signal. So yes, sometimes they go by signals. Say, Oma free go Oma come. 2 pickups. But how many people were traced by military in the election? But some people were targets. If we are unable to identify these people and try to help them make their lives a little bit better than the no woman, I always say a brayer in opposition was because Nipa or Mubet Nahua Boya Mayasaba power, they were not resourced. And the difficulty is how to move. In opposition or in our first government to be repeating them this time round. Nipana Boya Omumu and Nesofa Umusu. I'm not here. When it comes like that, we will get up. We will fight you. Yeah, do stage beer. Yeah,
okay, Abushanti Wahu. So what we are thinking, say you heard all what this man said. Akɔwe ya catch them for many years. Akɔwe Galamsey ni kakrakapa. Ukwa Asante regional. A man for more guide Galamsey seriously. You mean one of the biggest men in Galamsey. Enti Galamsey ni otise nipa we ya osanso ye NDC ni. How can John Mahama government fight him? You can't, because he brought you in power. In some no can and it's not talking about somebody else. In some no can. He's not talking about someone else. It is about him. But he's talking in parables. And no one that said ne, an NDC MP will come out and tell you, say, Galamsey Tokwana Yedene. I obey Yedene and Swamamo. Because during the campaign time, no, nama yomohu anomako kone okwa na fok ko hunu so na no be jina bonten bisa mu say why na hunu so no. This was what the NDC was doing. They were inciting the Galamseyers to do it more. And at the same time, Galamseyers were sponsoring the campaign of the NDC more. Until now, when you're to me, you know, how can you go and fight the person who sponsored your campaign to win power? And then the frustration and then Achimahama Banya on to win Casado. And then the power deliver from the gods and the land and the waters of our land. Omodi yedei, omodi prosecute spiritually the NDC leadership. That is what is happening, because they did on truthful campaign based on foolishness, stupidity, and intro. And the reality has catched them, and they had nowhere to hide. You can run, but you can hide. You can do all the unnecessary and all the unsensible campaign. But when you comes to power, the people will expect from you to deliver what you promised them. Until now, you were the 8th month, but still, and the Galamsey is going bigger and bigger, stronger than how it was. And 2 MP, now Babontain, now but can same way at the China, deal with it. Deal with it. Because he knew, said, what you guys were saying was not the truth. You knew, said, it was your sponsors who were actually doing the Galamsey. You were higher and Asante Regional, I think, say, Asante Regional Vice Chairman. Ever catch the Ghana phone, you know, say, Galamsey for no more Asante region, no. Some of them were imported from Burkina Faso and the countries surrounding Ghana to come and do Galamsey massively. And that was a reality now. Reality no about Bontain. A man for me Galamsey or mine no. Omuye NDC from paying for and Omuye Galamsey. Because Obeka ya kufo breso, ni Galamsey or Ghana. I John Daragana go fast China for buy, yeah. And John did China for buy, you know. The Chinese cooperated with the NDC big men to do Gara. It was and they are still the leaders in Galamsey. Forget about some small boys do no more. Eko tu kwan chen ye Galamsey. Ye come on with the excavators akese ko si nsuom. Essay no. It is the NDC big men, the unknown financiers of the NDC. Galamsey. And the karma is working and it is coming. And the karma itself, no, it is working and it is coming on the NDC. And the Galamsey and the Miriam Bamia Bema. And Trawan you say a Jomahama buying able to meet that. Ayadane. I'm a Galamsey. Ayadane Abaneshe from Ghana society. Yanto asone yanko yanim na yamfa different topic emrew. Topic a me pese me mfa mra na wunti anyway. It is about the presidential jet and the presidential traveling, and also about Okudzeto Abrakwa. And the kama achina amana akademua ontumi nkasa biem na waka na no atom. Nsema Okudzeto Abrakwa ne nkwasiafo sami jamfini John Mahama ankasa. Omo kan ya ena me no so ene John Mahama fa private jet kura de ko Berlin or so am fa private jet. Na obedin track Ghana for say okotra Dubai 20 hours. Okostra sis okoye den okostraki yo so koye den wo ho. Enti video we na mra. You say when you want to see a rare character of a human being, give him power, money, and you see who the person is actually. Enti video we mra.
A person's true character, give him power. They say if you want to know a person's true character, give him power.
So what? Mahama na ekon. Or say when you want to see somebody's true character, for to me mano, unya di to me mana, a hope and obehu ni subayan kasa. Yamfa to me Emma John Mahama no. He made a lot of promises. He was talking as if say he was the Messiah. Mahama promised Ghanaians of things or no better by managing free so. Mahama promised schools, students, he said he was going to give them a better food. Akokwanam, kusiaba and chinam, dokono, and in sama nema aka. And a school for they are suffering because to me, ababedi Mahama and some. But he say, tell American at the beginning, the politics of today is not the politics of yesterday. The other can in there, and the one compromise we are say. And when the time comes, we will use the same words of your own to identify your personality to the people. And then Mahama, once the Bereba can ye, dear na yehu, pray. Truth
will come out. You see, the truth is like pregnancy. You can't hide it forever.
Amen.
God is the one exposing President Akufo-Addo, his duplicity, his hypocrisy, his dishonesty on this Galamsey matter.
Amen.
Do you know the amount of money that they have spent on this Galamsey fight? Billions of cedis spent on Galamstop, spent on Operation Vanguard, spent on procuring drones to fight Galamsey. All gone down the drain. When President Akufo-Addo goes to Chebi, does he feel proud as an indigene of Chebi? And senior, maybe you don't know, in Chebi, Akufo-Addo's hometown, people do Galamsey in their bedrooms. In their bedrooms. Today, go to Chebi, walk the streets of Chebi. You will visibly see Galamsey going on indiscriminately in the township of Chebi. The most obscene form of criminality I've ever witnessed in this country. Go when President Akufo-Addo.
But the reality is that if that is what the presidency wants, then it means that we need to have a policy or make that conscious decision, whether it's you, the parliamentarians, or the political elite, or as a country, that we need a presidential jet, a new presidential jet. What do you say?
It is clear to me that the charter arrangements that President Akufo-Addo has been pursuing was just to herald this. They were preparing the grounds for this big announcement that a new presidential jet is needed. Let me serve notice that we on the NDC side in Parliament, we have discussed extensively amongst ourselves. We are not going to support this purchase, the purchase of a new aircraft, because of a number of reasons. One, the current presidential jet is fit for purpose. As President George Weah has told us in our faces, it's very fit for purpose. There's nothing wrong with it. Number two, the current presidential jet, if you read the Hansard of 19th March 2008, we were told by the then defense minister, who is now National Security Minister, Honorable Kandapa, that our jet has a 20-year lifespan after it arrives. It arrived in October 2010. It's done barely 11 years. Next month it will be 11 years. We are nowhere near 2030, where you can start discussing a new aircraft.
NDC banana pa would dear any mono coffee fasa private jet now you resign.
I'll resign because what resigning? Why shall I stay there? May resign because the mayor is on principle and yet personal and yes say I may time President Akufo-Addo and as I mean President Kudebi. It's the principle. It's about protecting the public purse.
Abuja for say what ukuja tabra kwansema na okeka me maame Georgina Bonsu mu akwa papa. So what nsema ukuja tabra kwa ekeka. Enam saa nsem we ya akuja tabra kwa ene NDC fo okeka ye ntie na me no ka say. John Mahama na anu otu kwan o the private jet ne two ye. Or the private jet ne call ye. But enam nsemfo bi no NDC fo kafa hiring of a private jet huntino, and then they cannot admit to say John Mahama at the private jet the two quite. Timiyepa Mahama one for commercial flight in a call Dubai na da umbwa. He moved from Accra to Berlin, from Berlin to Japan. A fact. But you see, oh, we phone son or dear. The presidential jet na okuja tabra kwase eye fit purpose na na do danko Akufo-Addo enko front na mumfa nko France ne a far away journeys no maybe sa okuja to say e na omo ba aban mu private jet no e wo hefa adenti Mahama mfa ntu kwan adenti Mahama jasa private jet na si ho na mom all use commercial flight if assuming, not admitted, assuming that is true. So the commercial flight in the Koya. A ban is send a wager private jet in Nesiho. Now onam commercial flight. A ban is saying and a private jet like what could be France. About 8 months now, neither Susi France. Yen can kwasha semna yen fangu abayani mase. Yen nin tro yen tran kontompo. Yenka de yenim fangu papa wotu no ho se all ball man no ho ban yengu na nim ase all in the interest of I want to be a president eno ne mo ne won se yedi tumi ne ma mo ye hu musu ene mo ban ene Mahama tukwa na the private jet tukwa nya ena mo nkwase asem nti no yentumi kan abonten se Mahama the private jet tukwa. Now there is no MPP member or MPP supporter or disagree say abang or mampanyira nkasa any kwan say the private jet to kwan. Mimi ameti Mahama can hire the most costly private jet to travel. It is necessary. But also na mun kontom ponti ene Mahama private jet 22 kwan no mudi sie betwa ntro. Now I wonder say these guys are so good in telling lies say they are able to lie on things visible na visible untumi ni tro che say etro bi ho awudi amu eduru pa o minya ibasankama me mo akwa papa minya. Thank you for welcoming me. It has been a long time minya. Nsi ankopana do mo ho ye etro bi ho na wudi a it is very heavy. Say Mahama to a free Ghana on the 18th of August 11 o'clock in the night with a private jet pictures to go up on train. Now yenya government spokesperson money to be jina bonten country Ghana for say or the commercial flight in the two quite. So we are dealing with leaders of the country whose credibilities are zero because omu can throw on every single issue. The most sensible never be so easier. Just admit to offer private jet. But say we didn't throw say Chiremia. How do you want me to accept you as my leader if what comes from your mouth is 100% lies? Mr. John Mahama traveled on private jet. It is confirmed. It is not true. He went from Ghana to Germany, Berlin, 11 o'clock on the 18th of August 2025. What is Mudompe Akamosim? A Kanamontie. I Miriam Samuel Okuno says Sami Jimmy was talking like an angel by then. Now he's more than a demon, of course. Miriam Ivan Sankama said, bro, Mahama can't buy private jet yet because Ghanaians are still suffering. So no need for any useless private jet at all. And the hono. The Amoya and no. Yet the Bayamo. A drone most some people for no yano. Yet the Babomu Dobro, Eddie Amamano. And then money. One was a private jet or president after to quiet to make a once and a chantro. Go to open as a mucha. The government spokesperson about being contemporary because in some more can be a slice. I am throw a boss remoka, a just a message to deceive the masses or more dreaming a juma. It's just a lie. Now, dear T. Peace FM for some a country Mahama and Crawford.
For power, I will make you move. A dear to me talk with me, but no over the auto. Ah, yes, guy, but you send me, your friend say. We have sent or the best man you shoot from this time up to 2030. Said
you see that I told you, say, no, almost someone people for no me and a debamo double. Upon an can. So could your tabra say, Namia Yamon say, a learned person like Akuja Tabra Wako school. Enti, so Kotoka, may I track car no one say, this car, it will be fit for purpose for at least 10 years. And to Akuja Tabra and Nimu say, it can happen, say, the engine can break even one day after you bought the car. Akuja to. Now what Jimmy say? We were talking, say you were a little bit learned. Sana wa Jimmy Kura. And because the brain, the book, and can say the manual, no, they actually won't say it can be used up to 2030. You know, said there can be you can say 4 to be a before 2030. Hey, okuja to wa do ho yawo. Enti tire ball come one. Why young guys send Jimmy stupidity at the highest level. Jimmy Nkwasiake can cheap campaign. Propaganda kesiye. Nkwasi assembly Jimmy Sam ene. Mo se Mahama ene ofa pray nkura age semu disie. Ofa pray na age semu disie. Now, listen to what Mahama self said.
On the avoidable creature comforts of the president and other leading officials must come to an end. It is an unpardonable show of disrespect and insensitivity to the plight of the suffering of the mass of millions of Ghanaian citizens spent on renting luxurious aircrafts for presidential travel at a time at a time when the state of Ghana has a fully fitted and airworthy executive jet that can ferry the president anywhere in this world. And I know because I use that aircraft. Professor Mills used that aircraft.
A few more.
Yenti Mahama niyo. Ai Mahama no kwasi asem na okeka no. Ebi enie. We nom na ato omo enne. Mahama fa private jet kwa de tukwa yentumi nka ho asem. Na yesi wi ase no. Kama nkasa na ye for Cambridge. Onyawa o de bewo mana tare wani a wotwene ho awo nte ase. On se na bu aka musim. Ena abu aka musim. Mimi oska ni mu akwa abafa. Ena abu aka musim. Abu aka musim. Ghana need private jet, but enam stupid comment a mo make here. Abra mo nimpe fe say private jet ya wo na Mahama wo se wotena mu. atama sitena mu enyam na mo daaye je kofo na o daaye but odaaye ba ebe your manager pade no you benefited from it. And how can a statesman, then a potential president of the republic, consider the comfort of a president as a luxury that is unpardonable, sin? Say the comfort of a president, you know, Bolivia yen to me fanche. On say Abuaka Osima, offer fright, offer private fright, na yedi see or mindful. And then kakra kraniti man ba ebe to abontene e kamane to amamfo team. E the evidence na be say no kwese for a prayer. Obaga na obebo tiase. Obebo tiase because animguase ebe chill. Salamu se mo ya Akufo Addo. Enene mo ne. Next time, the be say ba na ye ka ho asema. Try to be a statesman little. Try to be a worthy minded man. Try to be a worthy, knowledgeable man. Not a stupid idiot. Onantino kan kwasem. Always the night work out sim. Mahama. Wafa private jet they call Berlin on the 18th. Unkwasi afon say one for private jet. And I'm Jimmy sem. And then kwasi campaign amoya ya na mfaso nizo. Momenti a piece FM4. Na nyantowase na yenya ba ko say why is the NDC crying to buy a new jet? Are they now claiming that it's now a flying coffin? They should stop crying because it fit for the purpose. Exactly. Your private jet in France na monko famra na monfa mahama mfa ntu kwai. Even if Sankama say Kama is really dealing with the Mahama and his guru boss, wow. Frustrated omo. Me as Morocco say thieves always think foolishly. Yes. Because Kronono ba utima. Se Kronono ba utima. Na so mo Kronono. Now when you can get access to the coffers to steal that, you say every stupid thing that will allow you to have access to the coffers and steal. Even as say Muhammad doesn't deserve to use a private jet because he traveled just to eat and drink without bringing anything meaningful to Ghanaians. And that honor. Aye. Who has a Muhammad for private jet impo on for commercial flight no. Because no to kwa you could monsa na wasanya ba. Okone man konyak ba kon obeko no sere. Na ne sugu so twe wasra dentia. Wanya kunyak papa anom ewa brochi. Different from Addo and no the billions of dollars in the back investment in asifo. Yenti a piece FM4 we na yento aso.
Semfon pa o ewo man yi mu. E di enti mi to wiem shani bi. Obe no hoto. Ye ni sika be to wiem shani bi. Your friend say
wiem shani o ho no. You make me use from this time up to 2030 said by Ononyafo Okujeto Abda, current minister for foreign affairs. Aye.
And our president echo train ya 22
hours. Yes.
God.
Sir, we see the amubo kwaku. Afe na wutini so. Well, e mabuni bi abudo mo aja manwese mu no. E post any popularity in the video mo kwaji. I'm telling you. Me say me honorable Samuel Okujeto Abda marriage.
Your friend is saying, ni na no asemachi. Now the right thing no must be done. The right thing.
I say man no asem man
because presidential
the right thing.
Presidential jets no yetwa enye President Mahama nko a ene betinam. President bia obebe bia e betinam bi.
Ena Ghana mampani no oya Ghana
semene saade no.
Ghana mampani oya Ghana.
Enya ni wunya rehu kwan say o president who president.
Yes.
No oti baby an comfort
na no asemintia bia ma esi enya fukudo ni ma ho do so de bia meka ne edi akoma mu ni etimu dem down Okujeto Abda kwa utin so anyeye mampani ba no hye wanu nyam eno da kwa hye minister of foreign affairs
eduwa wo
hye o mampani komu ya wow we kamene wa se de unya akukuduo kwa trado mafem se me se de na Addo ha lu pedi tu kwan no se na ai mampani ma ba no mama aso ebi kwada no mpo no ha lupa ma resign ko nka mampani tu ni so a was ma resign ni amenya gide wo ye mpanifo mu se mu yo si ade yo na da no mampani odi zabu alupre o my Ghana ye dizabu je benya wiemhyan ade am ye mampani na manedumedie aye ahohare so na mane bambo na pomu day 22 hours o mampani kwa aka 2 hours na one day na me small boy kwa me go Dubai kwa me na me ko Iran me ko transit to Dubai me di how many hours o me small boy danger kill abobo 65 years hallelujah eti ya ba sere mampani si apane chow man fo ku je to bla kwa sam ne nya asem Ghana fo mu yenta mampani achi yen to yem sen ma ye mampani no onfe ni duma no mani tumpon ma yen ebe hia no ku je to bla kwa de ene bo ne ache no yen se de no Kenya no tana na do kwa no ni nyina fo biada wo se lu pebe to issue from this time up to 2030 yana mampani ko fo lu pebe yo ego rema no wiem na se de si kwa ya kan wasema ya sama mampani amfo monta fufro to fufro na lodina ofie to fufro ya tawachi Ghana kan unwia o de twasi wa maye na mampanya kodi 22 hours e wo Dubai yeah in fact I know they now I know say ka be mayo o ya mampani enkonkwatena airport wo enka na so say wo try the next flight ye babuku hotel e di amana wa home one me mpanifu ekoi ya meleduane no extra cost mo hey so the air who mamu amanyo sam in fact amanyo sam ya hwe ni ya wo hu ebebubu yen mami uri afise na na do we president otudi to no kuje to the na batudwa and wo for you play and wo dan wo wiem and wo wan wo to ni no ma wo wiem mama me enya dwale ni wo dwale wo to no ma wo wiem ya tan ya hu keke and I want am plan na nsuo to aya ya careful na sabe na do hu edware how ya no ni sana me ene wo hu ni panyina na betima di mampani Ghana ha mampani mama due kafra wate. But forget it. Come and buy a lupre for the good people of Ghana. No. Because it's not for you and your personal property. For the state.
Aye ni pali na na wo nyansa and this for nyansa na bo mo to say Johnson abo akoko because of power and what they call kwa mbefa so be riesika. Nti e ba na so mo opposition kwase asem nko a say na me I wonder I'm trying to find the evidence to tell you say Muhammad took a private jet to go to the friend is saying Berlin, but me who Ayra from my system. I had it, I kept it, but I cannot find it anymore. And can match now when Muhammad even moved from airport. Yes. Yen to asuna yen ko yanim na yen fa more things and match now. And Jabusia we ask na ye one yes say oh, we fall son or here and who here pa. And I say, or buffo him so very ado a tree and go who ye a brossom fast no. Also, could your tabra quani samijam phenom mahama nanka so motransi ye and quasia de na mahama kufuado ye lozri or ya Arabian ken and then mahama fat private jetta on into me money ye. Adentia. Nanu biase montino Mahama akana nwatu Okuja Tabra kwaira. Now I wonder how Okuja Tabra can still keep on to be a minister. Okuja to you have denigrated yourself. Okuja to has denigrated himself to the point to say in 2028 or standing for MP Obelusu. I'm not talking about Sisiya Dapa, but since when I was born in politics of Ghana, the minister what me approve to me to be an honest person, a serious person is Sisiya Dapa. Sisiya Dapa is the first minister in the history of Ghana. Ye can't sembone tone so. Anenye no kurempo Original so a year on one casa or resigning from his position as Minister of Sanitary. Sanity is a one sanity is a sanitary. Then you know crew. One promise you. because of her dignity and to save the image of his party. The woman sat apart. And no kuja tabra kwa. Now mom na now energization or mechanic saying una na ubojanu mu emani ye ederekese no abosisi da pa. Sisi da pa resign. Oba abamu ntumi nche no. Money evidence bia sesika ne ye oman sika. Wo nkwasa promise ne wo unsensema okeka ye no. Abem resigning wako bi ahye waka wano atum ko wanuma yeba. Na say everything that he was saying in opposition was just because he wanted a way and a manner to come and benefit from the state. And this is 1.4. Nyankopon betua mu nyina aka. Nyankopon ho no betua mo ka. Mo wie ye netie. De yesemo aye netie.
Is driving, caviar eating social democrats. You are a bourgeois, you're not a social democrat. Let's come back to the point. This, by the way. Look, since this government has taken over, they have introduced up to 11 different taxes. We can run through them now. But up to 6 of them directly affect the transport sector. What is happening now is what the Salaman will say, NDCP wasn't me brave any penny.
NDCP?
P wasn't only brave any penny. It means
let me get that.
Have come home to roost. P Western is roasted yam. You see when you roast yam and it's dark like that, you are eating it. Your lips become what? Dark. That is what happened to NDC. We were told clearly that the increase in the let me say the D levy will not lead to increases in the pump.
No. NDC for now your muhuni pebi omo ho. Mudin ko no anwe ya masesa wano akofa asem abehwe wano. Let's go to the last topic and go away. Abusia ene de nurse for no. The Unia TV morning show to say young couple nurse for nyina mo Ghana muntie.
Yadabumo. So be ayasa wo ye nurse guy no. Yanche no. I was see a chick guy. Omo show me be demonstration. Ya be the mo guy na was see. Wo media ne fo aso wo mumu. I was see a chick guy. I'm sure say reach for mo he say omo unity bi wo omo ta he onua pa. Yadabumo da bia ye mumu. What? I was see a chick guy no. Me kwa be see the paragraph no kwa ma fena bonaba so. Omo. Watch a video no. Watch a video no. Video nipa dawa owu, nipa ni wu, nipa no owu. Mu mesha wasi yenkwade card ankasa. Abroche wu bi. In fact, okwa private hospital kwa Ghana ha no mo a Ghana ha. De ye private no, yen kan sure say kokwade card bra. Ansa ya behwo. Meanwhile, baby akwade card no enipa samwo nyini paketwa. Omo so yare omo busiafo beje card. On kwese be san no ho. No kokwade. Private hospital who we be ho. These are buying hospitals. Yebe mo da ye who say Ralph was setting when there. There be a yebe mo. Who hospital for case obodo. Or miss be what? No. What is that? I was saying I'm talking doctor in there. All right. And doctors yet me blame at this point because doctor not consulting.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Mummy and now we're right. Mummy and now some way wrong.
Wow, you see the level that today our country is. And kwasiabawe ne kwasiampanyi we omuti hoyi. But me Evans, we no yadwene. O see the nurses are enjoying their fruit of their labor. Yes. Mon kwasiaba na mkot alawane yaje o enso ye nto. Adwuma no de mo be ye o nanso ye be boromo. Hey, Ghana yekoye nimo, yekoye nim pap. Listen. This stupid girl stays on the national television and tell people say nurse ni na ye born on ye ni ye. Ye nkoso na ye mboro won. Ye bebu won. Ya set crystal. Get ready. Get mask. Get on your mask. Ready, go. Ye mboro nurses nyina. Ye mfa nem abana ikotwa na wonsu ano no. Ye mfa bi nhye ye bottom ye call hospital na nurse ni bi. Eka se nyantobase na case no a little bit different from obia ne de ne higher na watch na bro no na wa hwew ai we the perpetrators NDC for eboa won e promote wo channel e ma omo be channel sakese wo man num nsɛm a ɔmo ka kyerɛ anɔpa nie nti we Ghana ni na ɔsoro anɔpa na woni adeɛ bi adwene na ɔsɛ nkwasiafoɔ we na ɔbɛhwɛ ɔmo a ɛto gye wɔ a na nursefoɔ wode mani asɛm bi aka kyerɛ ma wie yɛ no yɛmfa topic we nsia ne yɛnkɔ yɛ ntie video we
1 million jobs plan, which we have christened Ejumapa, will generate an average of 250,000 decent jobs every year. Our job creation policies will be rapidly deployed through needed interventions that are applied to ensure that all sectors of the economy give priority to the creation of sustainable and decent jobs. The 1 million jobs will be anchored on the big push, an aggressive infrastructure development for jobs. The 10 billion investment over 5 years will stimulate the economy and provide opportunities for businesses to grow, create new entrepreneurs, and employ more people. A national apprenticeship program to train technically skilled human resources for rapid industrialization, job creation, and entrepreneurship will be implemented. NAP, as we call it, will target 500,000 out-of-school youth, including Kayaye. Government will bear the cost of fees for their training, and they'll receive startup kits on completion of their training. What this means is that we'll register master craftsmen in all the districts around the country. We'll register youth that are interested in going as apprentices to learn a skill, and we'll pay the master craftsmen to train them. And when they are finished, we'll give them the kits that they need to start work, whether sewing machines or hair dryers. Through a number of tax exemptions, micro, small, and medium enterprises will be able to plow back their profits, drive the digitization of the economy to provide new jobs, encourage establishment of new businesses, focusing on exports to help create more job opportunities, provide free training in coding to young people across the country, engage a minimum of 300,000 beneficiaries under the Youth Employment Agency, focus on skills acquisition, legalize and regulate Okada business in order to make it safer and be an avenue for employment.
Now, let's see what is happening here.
Oh Ghana, kakra nipa be dinti. Sika kakra nipa be nya fi na adwuma mu ti. Bibi ni pese o tafre ho. E famra kwan so no de bu nipa bukata. No jini semska. We jina e kase. 600 cedis penalty, 1,000 cedis for registration. Even road insurance kwa yene say.
Etebusia Mahama na ene said the Mahama ba first kaya yefo all the tax go on so ene Okada for ena akoto won nti ene Okada for nyina no Mahama ban tax won seriously wo sika wo oni sika wo osi ojo nti no Mahama ne nkrofo there they live on the hardship of the people, the masses. They don't provide job, but they rather attack the jobs that the others are able to create. Abusha me don't be see no be phone last not to now so to me Africa kana wa kire wa den. Ene ya kasa che. Enti no ma be phone la na to musu to me frɛ na wa kire wa den. But meanwhile no me pese me mo amane say the dollar is dollaring. Ene dey me fancy. The dollar is dollaring. It is dollaring very seriously say $1 is 11 cedi in Ghana. And as I told you, no, who sika bi or how per se, one fankoye business be a war, your mind no more. Yan to Basiama, don't rush because all Russia, around here now, we do second Adrian and can. Because in 1 month time, the dollar will gain more strength on the city. And yes, it be an Eden, but it is creating awareness. Say minim kwanya ye wabruchei kwanya ye faso bre ahochira ye kom ote aho kan say aho yawa ye fremans ye tumi nya ye payment by every month enti du sika be kofi akwa ye business bi na o de call this time a obelusu ebe ye me ya ti mesos nyanto ba se ma ho na at the right time no what to me the sika na kɔ fie na sika na timi ayɛ dodo wɔ fie e de ama because enema yɛ nte so ne boɔ no sɛ de gyina na no ana gyina enti no sɛ wan twɛn kakra na wo do sika kɔ fie a ɔkyena bebe no ho because me say by the end of this next month September the dollar is estimated to get to 15 cedis or more na de wɔ hɔ no abusianfo ma bie phone last na to musu to me frɛ na watch the wadwen e de ama me message say na your first time no aba platform we so a don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't also forget to like the video. And moreover, say you wani ka ni adwuma me ye so wani na ye ofen so a you can try or you can decide to support me by joining my community. Joining my community no e will cost. The cost is from $2 upwards. Enti e will video na so hwa no ube say ya try subscribe. After subscribe no ya try join and say plus addition be ewo ho symbol of plus ewo ho onyuma so a edo be go through the process say the be ya obetumi contribute to support Ras Media if you wish to support Juma no platform we so a obetumi support me through this. And yes, you can see $1, $2, $3, $5. The amount that you prefer, sir, you can give monthly to Ras Media. No? You can do that through that process. It might be a full last night. Put me free now, so watch the word. Now, you're calling. Yes, my main video went to Abra. Your train say a month for the free. Yes.
Control the code Japan, no, or stranded. Ewo Dubai.
Etumpan.
Say someone no krewo mu a. Yes, say was spending 22 hours. Ewo Dubai. Many me be a fan no layover flight.
Chenia kasa.
You can layover. Say obi a watu kwan bia danim. Over flight no a. Say be gina. Ma menka ne sa ebe gina na wa home e bia don hwiri mienu, don hwiri miensa, don hwiri nan a unim. Enti wo kono nim se o mi kodi don hwere mienu wa ha mi kodi don hwere miensa e wo ha enti se no mu nim se Dubai eye no kra no obedi 22 hours a why stranded sesen
etumpan
de ye pay ho a so man ane ensa aka no se no kra
ne ka na da ho no
why stranded for what?
Me need time to waste.
I so stranded what? Because Ghana yempe nokra ye the politics assign no ma wo krom ha
ne ka na da ho no
nanke whole president itu kwan na sabi chartered flight eno de kwa enkabone be ne wum
eno na medwen ho a menti ase
mampanyi a wono no wodi anyina ye so no etu kwan no wode chartered flight ena ekwa we enkabone be nkra ne wum. But bra NDC abantia kunya so yenya nkrofo bi omu deserve some be ministers by virtue of NDC for yema omu ministers a mampanyi ne tu kwan a wo tu baby a wo call flight a wo fa ane dia wo kwa nyina no sebi na e wa bonten
wa she
because MPP for no oman close omu windows and doors ne e wo nkrofo bi a omu MPP mu omu di ntro e de ma NDC for San Crofoni bi and na NDC aban ba ye yama ba ko position
and papa dey no kan ko say
San Crofono emu ba ko oyoba NDC ba yama no position
etumpan
entu wone wo kwa wone wo didi wone wo ba na wo ton wo nsem wo abonten eden na okuja to abra kwa nka okroma
we
presidential jet was say you pristine brofo we use me my trade pen sa pristine brofo incoming TV da pristine just presidential jet no na ye wo no was say eye papa e wa hoden etimi ko ba bia na mampayi na na do peso boy ka so man entia wo tukwan a no afa chartered flight
wa she wa
entia na presidential jet na pristine na
we
and I say Selina
etumpan
presidential jet no bisa Samuel Kujato Abrakwa the foreign minister sa presidential jet no aye pristine minimum say pristine no e ba dia and I say Selina
chenia kasa
What is the state of the presidential jet? Yes, you the call France. Ye kosiesie. Ye the call ye emaye akosisen.
The car na da hodo.
Sansama ye kan security issues wom. Brahman payin nanado na me pese meka. Ba ma menka Brahman payin nanado. Wote akonwa so bia wanka nkyere wunti. Ye mu bi de ye di nkomo wa kyere mu ye ba ye ni na di nkomo wa kyere mu France. Or the commercial flight in the coy.
I ask you to be citizen.
Okodru wa stranded. Wonya baby anyina ne bag esisi nkyɛn cafe no wakɔtena. Ɛna wo twɛn se beba abefa no akɔdi ne dwumadie na ye treat mampanyini sa ɛsɛ na.
I ask you to be citizen.
MPP aban transform se da bi. Ye hia presidential jet.
The car na da hodo.
Nanado wo fra konwa so no se wa presidential jet a won fanko.
Etumpan
Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia won fanko.
Shenia kasa.
MPP as a political party omo ko no nkukuru nkosi ba bi se ye penso ne top presidential jet ntino ye kɔ ye de kɔ.
Etumpan
Batanam sa dwen no form na ya dwen ya bra dwen ntino tambia etie mu ye ntimi make progress as a country.
Wait.
Ne de bibia.
Hello, mommy.
Hello, Mr. Mafumaza.
Yeah, mommy, what to say?
Namia Dumayo Nanswe.
Bibia wako. I didn't say Okasa for me. I didn't call Dana.
Dabio Mena, Brenna Mabre.
Oh,
a brochure bre.
Oh, Kafra.
Mabre way home. But chair a bushia phone, chair or tear phone now.
Tear phone, also.
Mahama home. Papa will own. So we didn't chair, what could dinner name? I made the Ghana for or Munepe. You see, I humane pen a contour, a sonny minute. We are saying, what now more ni brad be bar and so one at all.
Yeah.
Jenaya won to see us at time now, nana not do what's on. Any Mahama, almost 4 years, my de Mahama by. Any Nanado, Diana, and near my a boy a day. Omumre ni nanado mrenso no. Nanado wo so no. Na bag of cement say.
Yeah. I think it was 990 Ghana.
No 900, na 85.
85 for them, yes.
Baby 85.
But because
gas am na ne board then. Gas am no na 85.
Yeah.
E be 830. E be 840. So what you say?
Yeah.
And ya no kojina campaign na ko open bo na odi kodi ntro.
I was 900 9 million. Already got for.
Na Mr. Mafu.
Mami.
Ekura yetumi adangrade ye say yadwemu ha. Ye ne Bangladesh for ne yadwemu ha. Because who stood that kind of low for Mahama? Papa no de. Papa no. We are obewo.
Yeah, on
na me mentra na papa we ewrade wo mo de omo sa ekoto abama wo mo no ene ebu omo ti so na me tie radio station bibi we say kwase so na o say wa wo ko panafo na no mu so say wa wo ko to abade ma Mahama se wo toy se wo anto se wo benya sika ewo ne presidential buffer mo a recommend you say dina chiko baby aba wa beto $1 million so say e di ama wo say $1,000 di ama mun nyina sika no ansa no free so na asa.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing cheap in the market again. So what I say, enya ade a wo kɔ akwakoto meko 1 cedi.
Dabi.
Ene meko me say meko Ghana akakaduro biansa. The nkiti bi o me se me pa kakaduro no ayi be 6 agu bag na me se kakaduro say ayi Ghana can gun no omo kan say 10 cedi.
Yeah, I think so that one is 10 cedi. Yeah.
10 cedis akakaduro 6 nkiti 10 cedis.
Akakaduro so da ben na ne bo be ye den.
Anam se na ne nanu ya na ba wo se gu ball mu bebra obi anto no. Ma me ne hwe manum sa no wo se da bla wonti ya ho. Na me de kosa o Mr. Mafo.
Oh.
Oh. I'm see ready yakopo ye wo. So Mahama atena ho etchantro na me makatra me bra sanya me kwa na meka wo so wo kubodua wo de antoa akonodi ayi ye kurom busum bi o de wo nyina beka no wo bɔ Mahama dua se wo to jet bia eni okudato wanya ba bonti se wo apologize no mema obi ahia wo apology utrim wo se ni trim wo se buba eda yi ayese ho se kan
yeah
one tena wa mo mpa apology because at the phones ade obi ampa na apology wo Ghana ena na adu nsusu hia na apology
yeah
Nanado doesn't need to
absolutely the man has been vindicated
offer wonu ani konkomua
yeah
any nanu no de kan sa na ma funde almost ugly beast like Okudato abropa then Nanado 82 oko 82 can who fe and I bet you say Okudato abropa if you reach the half of Nanado age thank the God Almighty who made you as image then I say because Onya Opache, God sustain him up to today. A quite me kai a yibia me share wo Europe you man na do or take a yi three man no conference as a saying okay
me am say me ka say video no pa ya me kai pa
Okudato di bi bia beto abonte na denti na Mahama de opeso ohidi Mahama identity of travel. Mr. Mafo.
Say ayensemfo a waka ne da bi ntino ofere.
Oh. Don't hit it. Because what to me try and trust you president, you know, or continue Dubai for
22 hours.
Almost 24 hours. Who bought that concubine story? One better sad story, no. A crocro say, it's my cat say, MPP near Kura, Yanimana, Nimamin discover and say. A friend one yaman on the crowd, when you ask them
of course.
And in the war, I didn't know back at MPP knew about just unquestioned way. One more would do a mukromo to Abama, one or right from Fandana or Mundishino. They only know how to propaganda.
Yeah.
One more move to the civil MPP ni bieno and the wisdom. Credible people be any or my Ghana move to me deceive woman. May ya mo TV station, no chantra. Me and at once none may ye through.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch them because it look insult for me. Say, I dear be any one or move can't check him for now. Or money abenya any daswa, any who to say yes, I bound way there or better what they are mammy. So what I say, I'm not going against them, Mr. Mafo. But propaganda na yede aye too much.
Aye too much.
Acquired to say, something like a mirror. You wake up every morning, telling at your face, say, was said asugua, uketrema sus obetuchuro so untuchuro. Sana omu propaganda na yede aye.
Yeah.
So what you say? Shani ayi Okudato abropa enema obekeka aye. Philosopher Sukwache and Niema Basa. Listen to all this. So now me I deal with one farmer will show them who might be on TV station can say ye dear Tama or Mote. So what? So social media for dear Tama or Motepa. Now what who FOB who better what who do you think you are?
Yeah.
We are why and I will be attempting your social media for YouTubers, you do matamote. We are why Abua, and you're gonna for taxpayer na Mahama as so good and now Bakasana Mahama so upper baby do an hour but so what are you to Anna? Because what you send it there, no one way. This time, Kronua Krona Manu Buddha Buddha, Tobacco Pampas.
I say, Hamana, mamma.
And I will yank to the one.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm more maniana. Oh, me, I know, hey. Trumu, ya, Moka, I would see a bit good and not to say, or more back, ye bet, meeting I see almost they have nothing to say.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But monkoto aba no say ye ni asemoka. O koto aba wo.
I want you almost the industrial wife.
So slow. O koto nkwase aba wo bedru ya na boss we yiwadi.
So what I say, enti Ghana for we had said generous, we and some children now to Ghana when I will say a dream moon come man boatama. A big walk up because when I would team now got to a baffon, said one who Ghana nemo bo, Ghana new cosa light. Now what would studio one quiet choboy. Would the information back and I won't answer and I will catch a man for. Let you quiet choboy and I do a lie. Or what about the innocent people? Do a tom kunya, do tomatoes. Now who will say Adrian Munkuna, one Adrian Bebu Dikakuno?
Of course.
Because we are the most selfish person. The truth is telling at you, but you refuse to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Just because of your $10,000. I'm a hammer was the amount. And the Sam Sikana Mahama was the amount. Where did the money come from?
From the coffers of the state. Your tax here, you pay.
Yes. Mahama and Mu Abano and Drew Babiao is just only 8 months. Ghana, Yesikanyina Elsa. 8 months, po. Okay, so see, Mr. Mafu, would you ever be bring to say, dear for Mutu and share? So, see, dollar money musu pay, so see, Anna. Or man assassin away.
Dollar money musu, nyagro na medio.
And yet, why do you say a monkey to us?
Some shas here, starting from somewhere.
And a monkey to because Matissa on Tia Edmaya 4 cracker.
What your contractors kakra bi kan na amade ekono. Onye
contractors say 10 instead of 18, you know, can you 10 billion or the other?
Exactly.
You know, ma obin tra baby no. Mahama. Muni Ghana president. Muni munyansan no obia o. You guys has no sensible than anybody. She Amamuo ya tuning any nyansa. The most credible wisdom and your people mind. Wo Mahama na wo kono. The whole world knows. Say, you told Nanado government, say, what we namana manaye day. Aka don't pay. Na eyemene wo kura pa ka Mr. Mafu kamani baye day. Ebewu. Busam sa day. Because every day be what buying ba omo nyeshe to what that there.
Yeah.
What buying ebe destroy there abana wo no and put your buying there.
Yeah.
Asise na ma be destroy na moko. Na me for so we nyansani ana we jimini.
Na say we jimi amamu. How can you Optimus Sagana go to cotton the sikaba said the beya see the back form. Now we are. Na bia no benye sika de Ubenya go da kwa koton. Amamfo ye nyansade metio.
Ai. Abra e kwai da wa so wugu ni nyina. De na na bride gu ho agenda ba ko ne kan sempo.
Agenda 111.
111 ni nyina wo ho. E na ujimi fo kwase ampanyi na ase enye etwe e na wo no. Aboa na abakasa ye wa ni free edua bi hu na esie bi hu no. Aye friend no raf no. Oye nurses ewo Ghana. She enkwasede oye nurses. Yakasa mu andisi for mu ni mu nyansa. Musi obi didi matem. Who is insulting you? Because it is gospel truth. You people haven't got common sense, common knowledge. Mu ni bi. Mu di any propaganda mo je hwiegu. Kunima me. Eno na mu ni mu ye. Kill and take what does not belong to you. That is what you end this people do. But it's a bad time. Ghana for afraid. Some bomb fire catching up for them. Oh, mobo. Na the ayemi ya kurani diaspora for no ebi wahano. I don't want you now. We no. Ubaka say Jimina yakwa for mu free ko kwa asema mu di bedru abrochira no. The same Jimina no. Mutumi tena ho. Emma Mahama, ebe discover that dam, Emma Mua, Abanaka, woo, Babadu, Abutra, Eka Hanya Faka, Ukaha.
How can you stay? Thank you, coach.
Eka Ukaha. Namuni Nadia, Miss Mua Mutia Brutra Moji, no Mudia Monje. Yami betria Munina Moka, Nama Mama Hamam Fessican in your Ghana ye. No, sorry, Atichi, no, Akochiwe, Wakochiwe, aye, internet president.
Arrest this man.
Arrest this one.
Nansampa yekafa kufa do ho pa papa we pa am fa.
Na na be the no ya content.
Yes, of course.
And then papa dey me say or to say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or to say Abe o say Mr. Mafo wunya adwunwu wom wunya nkwan wom wunya ya kan say enwu wom wunya bibia enwu na do ne Dr. Mahmoud IPP about to say enwu ya first Abe wunya bibia wom and na bibia wo Ghana bia ye useful bia was brought by NPP.
Yeah.
That is what they know. Nanu yeah, ahoy group. One would they know omonena momaye.
Yeah.
Kronon one omu boy no dia kotena tena fie. Boni ahudua omu disa. And just the name of NDC. The name of NDC is the most demonic name. And as far that they are still there, Ghana has no peace. Ghana will not have a peace. Now, it is down to Ghana for say, Omuankasa, ebe fa omu destiny, and just show some say, I'm creating mankind, but up to God, where my destiny will lead me. Omuankasa for mu destiny. And fancy omunsem. Na omukasa omudi NDC tia. Ghana bebo they prep a tribalism game. It come out for tibom. Now if you are we are Ghana ni, na uba ton ukra e dia ma such insult. Uba ton ukra e dia ma such game a Mr. Mafo. Would destiny in a way. It hangs on Mahama's hand. And it hands on NDC hand because you haven't hold your own destiny to your hand. How you service your destiny, no? Wouldn't be because what hang at the NDC, they have bought it from you and you haven't got one. Mr. Malcolm, my friend, I'm afraid now I'm comparing to be there. Bye.
But also by me, that's a bit. I mean, count. Yeah, my master and I attend and cano. Church mu ye me maame afro papa bi mo akwa pa mewia Samuel amewia Osei Anthony ma wonso akwa pa yewia Osei Anthony say ope will let the papa Italian made papa e wo Ghana maimu a eno ani Tony May Enterprise e wo Makola Market yes uko let the papa the idea mpaboa the idea kamu enkonwa the idea kamu edamu konwa the idea belt the idea mpaboa eno ani Tony May Enterprise opposite the pharmacy over Sister Maria bema let the papa na the operation fanye bia no odi abusia yeguso aye ginam se obi befre obi aso mfra yentie video we na video we sia na ye de bibia bana wiye yenko ye wo ya
Awesome. Yentie Samuel Kujato Abrakwa Emrasisi ana yenko on the presidential jet. Mampenya kwanto bebrebe ano wotu ensama na woka ye interview Samuel Kujato Abrakwa. Ema ne ba bonten crowd betu dwa se NDC aban ba na John Dramani Mahama ever chartered flight wo be resign. Nyabotre oso wo be resign. Na nyankopon de bia me kase kama ebe NDC for sa
hwene akasa
ombe botoro kasa
etumpan
enyo obi apesen ko momotoro ka but omano ena eyi omuka e wokurum ha nyame kire bibi kakra enti NDC aban ba ye na ye ma me gena na opoku na me ma no nkwane ahoden wo be yare ya wo ko UK no wo ba the chartered flight and a buy okuja to resign
It's clear to me that the charter arrangements that President Akufo-Addo has been pursuing was just to herald this. They were preparing the grounds for this big announcement that a new presidential jet is needed. Let me serve notice that we on the NDC side in Parliament, we have discussed extensively amongst ourselves. We are not going to support this purchase.
Right. A
new presidential jet is needed.
Debbie, go back.
Let me serve notice
stop in a go back, mommy.
That President Akufo-Addo has been pursuing was just to herald this. They were preparing the ground.
Was in Akufo-Addo the warrior no prepare grounds no was yes ye kwan sani ebeya yebeka se hia presidential jet na MPP aban akoto presidential jet. Enti kan mo ka se mampan John Dramani Mahama okwa yeah stranded no or more prepare grounds ana sani ebeya ndisi aban aba yebeka akoto presidential jet nyanya nwanam edi.
Ne ka na da ho
ya abusianfo am se brenaso enti ede mo besi ha na brepamu no ochina akopɔ ya adom no ɔmaya ahoɔden a yasan ene mo abehia mu biem adi nkɔmɔ medatiefo nyina se menwia Ivansan kama medase ye pa menwia panyini samoroko no mechia wo ye pa da wase me maame afro an akua na afro mechia wo ye pa da wase san so na yenwia kwadwo kwachi uskani papa bi mechia wo ye pa eda wase ye maame Georgina bo wonso mechia menwia ba no lida nya akɔ wonso mechia wo ye pa me mama ya afre mpoma me chia dollar man me chia me mama ama me chia ye pa mama me ankasa me ya ba ko pe Diana apia me chia wonso ye pa na me mama Esther Kebari ma me chia wonso ye pa me panyini kwasi asamo me chia pa eda wase ene wo bre abusianfo me de wo besia ebre na ye bre na o kira nyankopon pa na o ma ya hoodren se na ye de enkai so aka abeto am so makra mu nyina until we meet again adios.